Hey everybody, Chris Reagan here. Welcome back to the program. Today's going to be a very different kind of video, and that's why it's on the second channel and not the main one. It's going to be a very different thing because what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing a little bit of a reaction video to a smaller channel by the name of Cat Black. Now, Cat Black, if you don't know, is a social justice warrior YouTuber. She's also profoundly inept. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Lacey Green and I are somewhat dating at the moment. We are currently involved, and this really doesn't sit well with Cat Black. In fact, she's made what feels like dozens of videos on the subject, hours and hours of live streams talking about how much she disapproves and how much of a white supremacist I am. And so today I figured, you know what? Fuck it. If these SJW channels are going to portray me as the villain, if they're going to make me a Voldemort of sorts, then you know what? I'll be their Voldemort. You want a villain? You got a villain. This is a 2-hour live stream that she ran 5 hours ago.
I really hate treating Lacey Green like a young girl who doesn't know any better. I hate that shit. I don't like to act like Lacey Green is just this naive, optimistic person who doesn't know any fucking better. That's really fucking condescending.
I don't want to be a condescending cunt. I don't want to be an absolute bitch. I don't want to treat people like they're little children who can't make their own decisions when they're grown fucking women. I don't want to be that person. It doesn't mean I'm not going to be that person. I am going to be that person for several hours on a live stream, on several different live streams, and I'm going to bitch about it for days. I'm going to be that person for days, but I don't want to be that person.
How the fuck don't you know that you're interacting with white supremacists? Like, Chris Reagan is probably the worst anti-feminist you could have gotten with.
Yeah, guys, I'm the worst anti-feminist channel she could have possibly gotten with. I know I never did a video on Milo Stewart or Riley Dennis or Cat Black or even Lacey Green for that matter, but I'm the worst anti-feminist channel she could have possibly chosen. Despite the fact that my channel is focused entirely on comedy and the majority of my targets usually are big institutions like MTV or BuzzFeed or big companies like that, and I rarely go after smaller channels and individuals because, I believe it or not, I do hold back and I do feel like it's a bit fucked up for me to be punching down at these little channels that have no way of defending themselves. But no, I'm the absolute scum of the earth. Is that you, Voldemort? Are you calling? My goodness, let's grab lunch.
I'm gonna say this right now. I might have been less upset if it was like Sargon.
That's the fucking weirdest suggestion I've ever heard.
But I feel like somehow, some way I would be like less bothered by it.
Are you less bothered by it because Sargon is a white European male and I am a filthy, mud-blooded Hispanic? Do you hate Hispanics, Cat Black? Do you hate us mudbloods? Do you have a thing against Native Americans? Because I have a decent amount of Native American in my blood. It's where I get these delicious cheekbones. What a colossal bitch.
Because at least Sargon is at least slightly better at hiding his fucking racism.
I'm terrible at hiding my racism, guys. It's so blatant, you know? Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I think, why black people, why even? I bet Cat Black actually thinks I'm like an alt-right conservative. I bet she actually thinks that. I bet she unironically believes that to be true. Cat, just because I'm mean to people who are assholes to me and people I like, doesn't make me a conservative. It makes me mean, but it doesn't make you better. She's just so phenomenally condescending. It's fucking incredible. And that's coming from me. So you know it's fucking true. And here's the part where Cat Black goes to my Twitter feed and reads out some of my really heinous tweets. And it's the most embarrassing thing I think I've ever fucking witnessed.
I'm sorry, but you cannot hide Chris Reagan. I can go Chris Reagan's page right now. Let's go.
You can't hide Chris Reagan. I'm the evil that lives under your bed. I'm the boogeyman, guys. I'm fucking evil. You know what I do sometimes for fun? I walk outside and I find the first disabled person I can, smack him over the head with a lead pipe. It's just what I do. It's just another day in the life of Chris. You just can't hide such a profound evil.
I can go Chris Reagan's page right now.
I love the fact that she has me blocked. I'm a big expert on Chris Reagan, guys. Believe me when I say he's a white supremacist. Believe me that I know Chris Reagan's opinions better than any of you, better than Chris Reagan himself, because I experience him enough, because, I have him blocked. What?
And there's problematic shit. Everyone who isn't me is a white supremacist. Right, because that's what they fucking said.
Yeah, Ken, I don't know if you know this, but just because there's quotation marks around something on Twitter doesn't mean it's a direct quote. It's really more of just kind of like what I got from that article. You might disagree with it, but you're free to do that, and I'm free to disagree with you. Cunt. Revolutionary concept, I know.
Look at this. Jake Paul is clearly retarded, but let's not bully him. What the fuck?
Now, it's at this point that you'll probably notice that these individuals seem to have a big problem with mean words, especially the words like retarded. For some reason, that really offends them. That really hits them in the craw. Maybe they are retarded and they're personally offended by it. Now, look, I'm just gonna say it right here. I don't really care. It's language. I like the word retarded. I think it packs a pretty decent punch. Most of the mentally handicapped people that I know aren't offended by it, and the only people who are offended by it are the people who are offended on behalf of other people by it. So I don't really take your criticism of the word retarded seriously, Cat Black, and nor should anyone, because you're a joke of a human being.
Racial tensions in the U.S. are bad, but at least they've given unlimited energy in the form of MLK spinning infinitely in his grave.
Oh dear Lord, how did she make it through that one? A dead person spinning in their grave joke? My God, that's like at least 50 years old. I don't know. I don't know how she. I don't know. My goodness, man, the abuse that she must be enduring as she's reading this joke. Intense. I can't imagine anything more painful.
Look at this guy. Muslims are frequent victims of ISIS because ISIS operates in areas predominantly with predominantly Muslim populations. You daft. Yes, that's the fucking point.
No, Cat, it's not the point. If you look at the very picture that is underneath that tweet, you will see that that's not the fucking point. Sean King verbatim says, heartbreaking, I continue to clarify, members of ISIS are not Muslim. That is false. Members of ISIS are Muslim. It's literally radical Islam. That's the point I'm refuting, Cat. How can an individual be so daft? This is honest. This was the tweet that made me want to respond, right? Because she's looking at what I'm talking about, but she refuses to see it. And this is just a common thing with this group of people in general. They can't admit that I'm not evil. So they have to, even if they're looking at it, even if they're looking directly at proof that what I'm saying makes perfect fucking sense, they have to pretend like it's not there. They have to uphold this idea that I am the devil to these people. Because if I'm not the devil, then I'm just a normal guy. And if I'm just a normal guy, well then they lose all of their rhetoric loses any meaning. Because it's all about being more moral or more moralistically good than the people that they're demonizing. It's so fucked. Cat, learn to read.
That is the fucking point. The point is that the vast majority of victims of ISIS are Muslim. So to demonize Muslims in the West is kind of defeating the purpose, especially if your idea is that you don't like ISIS, because most of their victims are Muslim. And so when you encourage or dismiss hate crimes against Muslims in the West, all that fucking is it's a radicalization tool for them. So you're feeding it. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
wow, that has nothing to do with what I tweeted or what Sean King tweeted. That's incredibly impressive.
And I bet if I go down this guy's page, he's never said a single fucking thing about the recent hate crime because he doesn't give a fuck.
Kat, what hate crime are you talking about? Are you talking about the one where those two white guys went up to that guy who was threatening Muslim women and the dude killed him and ran away? Is that the hate crime you're talking about? Because if that's the hate crime you're talking about, I did a whole fucking podcast about it. Believe it or not, Kat, I'm not a fan of hate crimes. I know that's really difficult for you to understand because you've built me to be this Voldemort, but yeah, I'm not a fan of hate crimes. You lunatic.
Doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't care about it, guys, because he didn't post about it on Twitter. Kat, I care about a lot of things that I don't post about on Twitter. Twitter is not the world.
Like, I'm going to scroll down and see if I find one. Oh, look at this. You're not black enough to speak here at actual university. Look at him. And then, oh, a lynching joke. Hilarious.
Yeah, Kat, that was a lynching joke. It was all about lynching black people, that joke. It certainly wasn't a suicide joke, which has been a staple of my channel since 2014. Certainly not a joke about me wanting to kill myself because everything around me is so blatantly retarded. No, it wasn't a suicide joke. This has racial motivations. You could tell she knows what she's talking about, guys. She's a real expert on my comedy. She's a real expert on my channel and my style and my shtick. She knows everything about it. That's why she can't nail a single one of these criticisms accurately. separately.
And like this is the shit. Like this is the thing. Like, am I fucking like reading this shit and getting like triggered and offended? No, but this is what he thinks is funny.
Kat, these are the worst gotchas I've ever seen. If you really wanted to prove that I was a white supremacist, if this was the evidence that you have to support your claim, you might want to reevaluate your, argument because it's terrible.
Like, this is what he thinks is funny.
This man's sense of humor varies far differently from mine. He must be a Nazi.
Like, this guy is really fucking disgusting. And so, like,
Kat, you are one of the most disgusting people I've ever seen. Your personality is horrendous. You're condescending. You're bitchy. You think you're better than everybody else. I saw a stream where you said, I guess I have this sense of integrity. I have so much integrity that I can't be a colossal asshole. Oh, look at me, I'm Cat Black. I have so much integrity. I don't want this integrity, but I have it. What am I to do? Cat, get over yourself and get over everything else while you're at it. You're obsessed with the Lacey thing. You're obsessed with yourself, and every single video I've seen of yours is the epitome of high school drama, but you're an adult. Stop it. I'm disgusting, guys. I'm fucking disgusting. That's beautiful. I can't imagine why. I just can't imagine why people are getting sick of social justice warrior. I can't imagine. They seem so open and they seem so nice.
If Chris Reagan said that he apologized to me personally, that is a lie. That is a 100% lie.